Duly.
All right. All right.
So where's the music?
I think we're ready now.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Good afternoon. Refresh your browsers, y'all, because today is, what is today? Tuesday, March the 6th, 2012. And you're listening to Room 3026 Live. Episode 480, a 60-minute conversation ranging from technology to pop culture. I'm your host, Damond Nollan. We are broadcasting live right here in Durham, North Carolina. Live. It's lunch hour in the Onyx Tower. Today, my co-hosts are, welcome back, sir, Mr. Derek Brinson.
The return of the world's funkiest man. Stay funky, my friends.
And Mr. Michael Render.
I does it.
He does. Yesterday.
He did it. And as always, we encourage listener participation. You can join the conversation. All you got to do is call us right now at 646-929-2689. Yeah. Again, that's 646-929-2689.
Yeah, again.
Or you can chat with us right now over at blogtalkradio.com/Damond Nollan. Don't forget, you can always get the higher fidelity audio over there on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/Damond Nollan and get that latest episode. Also want to give a special thanks to Mr. Darren Tyler for providing our theme song, this song that you are now listening to.
It's funky.
It's called Without You. And that reminds me that without you, as I point my virtual finger at you, without you, we would not be where we are today. So let me say thank you for what you do. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Now let me turn to the chat room and say hi to those who are walking in right now. Let me say what's up to Alan Tran. What's going on, man? And also we got Miss Eileen Smith is in the house.
We love.
Yes, we do. What's going on, Miss Eileen? And we also got on the phones, we got Mr. LL. That's Mr. Leon Lewis, also known as Dyslexic in America, in our chat room. Want to say what's up to him. And I want to say also hi to all of you who are listening on archive right now. Want to say thank you guys so very much for your ongoing support. Now, let me give you a little teaser. In this episode, we are going to talk about a new smart camera that Samsung is rolling out. Has Wi-Fi on it. Can you believe it?
Well,
Wi-Fi on the camera. I have some information on that. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the latest rumor as far as the new iPad HD, otherwise known as the iPad 3.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Don't forget that will be coming out shortly. That and much, much more in this episode of Room 3026 Live. Live. So let me first of all say hi to Derek Brinson.
Hello.
Who is back in the house. What's up, man?
It was glorious. I had a grand time. It's kind of a departure or vacation for me. I usually go to like a resort or a convention, or my destination was different. I just went and hung out with some friends that me and the wife hadn't seen since like before the wedding, and just let him take the wheel, and he took us on the Silicon Valley tour. It's all the big tech players are really, really close to one another, and the place is beautiful. Love San Francisco, man. It is really, really cool.
So here's the question. So what have you learned as it pertains to our favorite company? Have you learned anything new?
Yeah. Yes.
Good things?
Depends on your definition.
Good things?
Yes. Good for Netflix. You know, for our new listeners, we have a friendly gentleman's wager, whereas he will properly introduce me as the world's funkiest man.
Oh, my goodness.
Upon the sale of Netflix to a bigger player sometime between now and Easter. Okay, at the time we made this little gentleman's wager, I believe that there were probably some employees within Netflix that would have made that same wager at the time, with the rumors of Amazon talking about that. And at the time that we made the wager, it was a smart wager to make. Upon further consideration, I suspect perhaps that may not happen between now and Easter. I don't know. Lightning
Where's
could
my $20?
lightning could strike.
Pay me now. Pay me now.
No, I'm just thinking maybe not. And I think, and as it turns out, you were right. I think the wild card factor is the CEO himself. Reed Hastings is his name, and he built this Joker from the floor up, and he is not inclined to let it go.
I like that. That's almost payment. That's almost payment of itself.
That is not payment. That is painful.
It's almost
painful, is what that is. Ouch! It hurts me deeply to have to admit that.
Hey man, but I appreciate that's honesty.
Yeah,
That's why we're gentlemen.
Yes, it's a gentleman's wager.
That's right. I give it to you.
And you will gentlemanly introduce me as the world's funkiest man if something unexpected happens. And it could happen.
Anything could happen.
It could still happen. It just seems
highly unlikely.
A lot less likely than I was at the time we made the wager.
Sure.
It just
I can work with that.
Yep.
Now let me also say to
Did
Michael
you know
Render,
that
Michael Render, who's here.
Yeah.
Michael Render kept us together yesterday.
Dude.
Yes, he kept us together. So I want to say big ups to Mike Render for keeping us online. Because I was not here in the office.
Where were you?
I was in Smithfield yesterday, taking care of some necessary things.
And Mike did the whole hour solo?
No, and I was going to say thank you to Tim Arthur, who also
but of course,
who also helped out with that. And I have Tim Arthur here on the phone. Let me just say hi to him and say thank you to him in person. Tim Arthur.
Damond Nollan, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, dude.
And hey, Derek, the world's funkiest man, welcome back as well.
Thank you very, very much, sir. Stay funky, my friend.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say I appreciate that you stepping up, helping him out, man. It takes a lot to do this show sometime, and I know it's tough to do it by yourself.
That's a tough gig. We make it look easy because we're good.
all the kudos go to Mike Render.
Hey, man.
I try, man.
Good job. Well, y'all held it together.
And I just wanted to call in to say how much I appreciate Blog Talk Radio.
Hooray. What a
Because I may have been a little harsh yesterday because it was hard to hear, but I do want to say that I love the ability to be able to Skype or call into the show and participate. So thank you.
Oh yeah? So that's not like a poke or anything.
No.
That's a
not at all.
real deal.
That's a genuine. I like that.
Well, I'll use that as a platform for a second. I know one of the things that we're talking about in the Facebook group is we're talking about whether or not we should leave Blog Talk Radio. And I want to say thanks to those who have already, kind of put their 2 cents out there. I know Alan has said some things, and Bob H has jumped in on the conversation. And Tim, you have as well.
I've seen a lot of action. I just haven't had a chance to go in.
But the discussion we're having right now is, should we leave Blog Talk Radio? And one of the things, and I appreciate so very much, is that some of the feedback we're getting is, well, we really love the interaction, the live interaction with the hosts. Outside of the fact that it goes in and out, with the quality of it, that's kind of my issue. And I know, Tim, that was always your issue as well.
That's it. Really. Other than the audio quality and the dropouts. I mean, other than that, it's great. From a live perspective, if the audio quality on the replays was a little bit better, then I don't see anything at all wrong with our service.
Right. Yeah, so it's kind of the pros and cons of that, But as long as you guys enjoy, and that's really where I'm at now, as long as you guys can enjoy that live interaction, and I enjoy it.
Yes.
I really do. I enjoy seeing you guys every single day because it's one of the reasons why we come here.
I think
it's because of that.
Yeah, for me, the main appeal is the idea that it's live.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll keep having that discussion. We'll continue talking about. But those are good points to remember. That you can call in, you can Skype in from pretty much anywhere and get right on into the conversation. But anyway, thanks again, sir. I really do appreciate you.
Anytime, guys.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
The first call, our first call, bravo.
Absolutely.
6th man of the year, dude.
All right, let's see here. 11 minutes in. How about we jump into our feed watch? How about
feed watch? I've been away for a while, so I need some help.
Yes.
What is this feed watch?
Feed watch.
Oh, that guy sounds familiar.
Well, feed watch is where we constantly comb the blogs so that you don't have to. We give you the news that you can use because that's what we do. So you best not snooze, you will not lose, unless, of course, you just enjoy singing the blues.
The blues.
A boo-hoo, even. So this first story that's on the agenda for today is talking about a new smart camera that comes with Wi-Fi. And this comes from GigaOwn, by the way. There are two new two cameras. There's one called the WB150F and the DV300F. Okay, two different brands, and they are priced just $100 different. The WB150F comes in at $229. Did I say 100 difference? It's actually not a 100.
I believe that's what you said.
$30 difference. $229 for the WB150F and $199 for the DV300F. If you don't mind, can you minimize this for a sec? I want to see the other screen.
What other screen?
I want to see the cool edit screen. I like looking at the numbers. There we go. Just so I can see the green number. That's all I need to see.
What green number?
That one there.
What green number?
I meant the meter. The meter there.
Oh, the green. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm sorry. I'd like to see that.
We're good.
So anyway, the two different brands, the two different models, rather, they do both allow Wi-Fi access. Now, so basically what this will allow you to do, clearly having Wi-Fi on a camera means that you can, if you're near a wireless hotspot, you can upload your photos to the web, right? If you want to upload it to Facebook or whatever, you can do that. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, that's great and fine and dandy and everything else, right? But the question becomes, why would I get a camera like that when I can just use my phone?
Yeah.
That already has Wi-Fi.
I was, why is that different from
3G access? Like, why not?
Yeah, why? Right? Yeah, why? How and why would I? Why is that any different from any other picture-taking device I might buy on the phone?
Well, I'm going to tell you a few of the reasons why I think you may want this new one, and I'll tell you this. Despite the fact that it can do Wi-Fi, which is great, you also can get you can shoot in 720p video, 30 frames per second.
You said how many?
720p.
Okay.
Which, and I understand some of these newer phones.
I was getting ready to say the S2, which is likely to be my next phone, does 1080.
Right. Does it do 30 frames per second?
Good question. Have no idea.
And does it also have a optical zoom, which most of these small cameras do not? Or these more, talking about your phone. Like I'm looking at Mike's iPhone right now, and as a matter of fact, there's a couple things that are totally different. Number one, the sensor is a little bit larger on an actual point and shoot phone, or excuse me, a point and shoot camera. I was actually talking to a photographer this weekend, and he was telling me, he says, here's the difference. If you can put your finger together like in a circle, you're looking at the sensor on a phone is only this big. It's about as big as a pin getting pushed through your finger. And I'm making a circle with my finger. My pointer finger's going around. Looks like a little pin size.
Right.
The sensor on a point and shoot camera is a little bit bigger, like that. But if you go to one of these really expensive cameras, the ones that are larger, you're talking about the sensor being this big, and it's about, if I'm throwing up the OK sign, right? So the sensor is going to be totally different, which means you can get better pictures in the dark or in low light.
Okay.
Whereas you can't get those on the smaller cameras.
That's not unimportant.
You also have on the WB150F, that's the first model, you also have a 14.2 megapixel sensor paired with an 18 times optical zoom. Now, here's one of the things that you'll know about the iPhone or any of these phones is that they have digital zooms, right? Like you can actually zoom in using your phone, but it's going to be kind of grainy. And that's what you get with a digital zoom.
Let me see.
And with an optical zoom, it actually has a much higher quality to it when you're zooming in. Some additional features that you get with these is that you get dual image stabilization, something you don't get on your phone. Mm-hmm. You also have wireless sharing to HD TVs. That's kind of cool.
Whoa, that's very cool.
You can also have.
I think Apple TV and Google TV are going to replicate that a lot. And plus, your television has to be up for the job as well, yes?
Right.
Okay, just checking.
Definitely. Because I don't think my TVs are going to work. I'm just saying.
Rabbit ears.
Yeah.
I can see how that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. Don't think that's going to work. Here in the chat room, I'll share this with you. This is the link. Thank you, sir. Looks like we got Demetrius in the house, too. What's going on, Demetrius? He's calling in from the phones. Just want to say what's up to him. Let's see what else you got. Also, you get full manual control of photo settings. You also get on-device editing and panoramic shots, which now the panoramic shot, I've actually seen that on, I think it was the new Galaxy Nexus that comes with it out of the gate. But you can edit right there on the device, and you get greater zoom. So those are kind of the takeaways from this. I don't know, at $229, $199, those are pretty good numbers.
Those are
for a
not
point
cost prohibitive, especially if that's what you do.
Right.
If you're an aspiring filmmaker or something like that, that's very much like shelling out a couple of $100 for software that turns your PC into what used to be $1 million studios.
Right.
Digital studios. I mean, I see that as along the same lines. I'm if I'm a musician, I'm gonna buy Pro Tools. It's not cheap, but it is necessary for me to do what I do in this day and age.
Right. Absolutely.
So I see this as very similar.
I mean, again, if you're trying to get into photography, these might be good entryway tools. Again, I was looking at this photographer this weekend, and you're talking about, $2,500 for the camera itself. That's the professional level. And then that doesn't even include the $1,500 lens or flash or battery pack or, the things you got to have to really get into this. So the fact that you can buy one of these relatively inexpensive cameras and kind of take it with you, I think is really kind of where I started. And I just kind of build up from there. And then you get a chance to learn. Now, one thing I will point out is that they're small enough to fit in your pocket or into your purse. You can take it with you. So I don't know. The best camera, as I've always been told, is the one that you have with you. So I don't really care what it is. But anyway, those are some options that I thought I would share with you. All right, let's move on for a moment. Let's talk a little bit about the new iPad, what they call iPad 3. And they're also calling it the iPad HD, and that's the rumored name of it. And as you guys may remember, tomorrow, that's March the 7th, Apple will host its news conference or release conference. But I have some new information as far as when you can expect to see the new iPad. According to this story from Gizmodo, they said that the iPad HD or the 3 will be available on March the 16th. You're talking about next week sometime. Yeah. So and really, this is kind of in line with where they were last time, because I think it was March the 11th when the last one came out, and it was like a week or so after they actually announced it.
So get ready for the iPad 2 price drops.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Pretty much. And I think they're also going to announce the Apple TV. That'll also be announced, and that's something that they've been rumoring to talk about is that. So I just wanted to kind of drop it on you now. And again, we were laughing the other day about how Tim wasn't going to get the iPad 3. Again, we continued that joke. I just wanted to make sure you guys heard again, just so that we're clear. I have every intention to believe that Tim Arthur will get the iPad 3.
Yeah, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't or shouldn't.
I tend to be right on these things.
I'm not going to comment there, but
I tend to be right on these things. You guys need to trust me.
If past behavior is any indicator.
Yeah. Tim wants to jump on. I'll bring him back on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All
right, Tim.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it here again, and I'm going to reiterate this fact for all the listeners, and I said it on the Tech Monks podcast on Sunday evening. I do not believe that I'm going to purchase this iPad 3 if the only changes they have are the camera and the HD display. I will not do it. If they, however, pull something out of their hat that's a feature or a functionality that nobody has talked about or rumored about, then I'm not
like
gonna,
what?
you know. Then I might consider it.
So hold on. So
if it encompasses any of the rumors that I've seen thus far, I do not have a desire to do it.
So if Siri comes with the iPad 3, which you didn't include in your list,
absolutely not. No.
All right, so that's an addition to your list of a reason why you wouldn't get it.
That's
it has
correct.
to be more
I have
than that.
Siri already on my phone, and it's adequate. I don't use it very often. It's a good service, but that would not sell me an iPad 3.
So Siri, camera, and what you say, HD display?
No.
It has to be.
Those are not the feature set that you're willing to pay for.
He says it has to have that in an addition of some sort.
Like what?
The main thing that actually
what's going to sell you?
The main thing that sold me on getting an iPad 2 over just keeping the one was the addition of the camera. But I have found that I have really not used the camera as much as I had hoped to. So any improvement there, not going to matter to me.
Well, if it's thinner.
No, that doesn't matter. It's already thin enough. You know, you can't get much thinner.
So what if they do?
Anyways, I just wanted to say I'll let you guys get back to it, but I wanted to say that Damond, you are going to be proven wrong, my friend.
Okay, all right. You guys heard it here first.
I might get one.
Again,
I might get it too.
Again, I tend to be right on these things.
I will not purchase one. If I'm given one,
there you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I will not purchase.
Okay. Now, I didn't put a date on this. Now, you may not buy it the first week, right? But you will get one. So I've just left myself open to win.
No.
Another one of these things.
We have to break it down into I will not purchase one.
Period.
Okay.
I will not purchase one.
Okay.
Or my wife's finances.
Okay.
No finances in my family will.
There you go. There you go.
Uh-oh.
He says now if he gets one, he says I'm not going to buy it. That's what he's saying now.
Since Damond likes to keep this debate going, and if he so chooses to purchase one for me, I'll gladly take it.
Okay.
So you accept the iPad 3, you just won't.
He's saying he's not going to buy one. So if someone else buys it for him, let's understand this. Does this include your business? Let's say your business buys you one.
You're very, very strictly defining the scope of this little discussion, are we?
Okay.
No, if it will not be a result of my personal business, or the business that I currently work for.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we were clear because he could easily switch that and say, well, I didn't buy it out of the
Arthur.
Yeah, the Arthur
finances.
home business. I mean, the home account.
The Arthur Foundation. This didn't come from the Arthur Foundation.
Yeah, at least the Arthur Foundation
had nothing to do with this.
Right.
Once again, hey, if it offers to shine shoes or something, or illustrates some other feature that nobody has talked about, then that statement could be reconsidered. But if it's everything that I've seen thus far, like we just talked about, I really don't have.
It's going to be thinner.
Fine. Okay.
It's going to be thinner.
All right, I'm with you, man.
I'm being totally upfront with you.
I'm with you.
I appreciate that. I got to tell you though, in the airport, me and my little $50 Big Lots Android 1.2 joint just loaded down with PDFs and some MP3s. I got to tell you, I had some tablet envy. Me and the wife both. I think one of us is going to get the ice cream sandwich Android, and the other one's going to get the iGadget. I think.
Okay,
dude.
You saw all those folks on a plane. It's just like
that $50 tablet. It's cool for what it is. A fine learning device to play around with the fundamentals of Android stuff. Now it's time to
man up.
It's time to be a big boy.
Go on, get your big boy pants on.
I need to get a big boy tablet.
iPad 2 price drop.
You heard it here first.
Yep. I haven't decided.
I'm getting two.
I'm gonna get one or the other, and the wife is gonna get the other.
It won't be the week of the 16th, but come April.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Before I get on the airplane,
you want to buy mine, Mike?
Dude.
There you go, Mike. There you go.
Like I said, it has to be in the box and wrapped.
See, that way you could buy the 3.
Apple manufactured.
He can put it back in the box.
Apple manufactured packaging.
He could put it back in the box for you, Mike.
Instructions and everything.
No, mine's all banged up. Still works awesome, but it's banged up pretty good.
Holler at your boy. Holler at your boy. I am not opposed
to a discount.
Yes.
I'm savvy. I'm good.
Cool, baby. All right. Well, let's pull out our cameras, y'all. And let's take pictures.
Which would not include the iPad 2, is that what you're saying?
You could use the iPad 2.
Yeah, you could.
It does have a camera on it.
It has a camera on the front and the back.
Yeah.
You know.
See?
Talk to Tim Arthur. All right, y'all. Pull out your cameras. It's time for Daily Booth.
The camera on the front and the back, that's something I've suddenly seen the importance of having.
Yeah.
Especially for stuff like this, when I would normally take a picture of myself, but then the framing just never works. I don't mind depending on Mike, but
go to www.dailybooth.com. Pull out your webcam and your cell phone.
What it look like?
Upload a picture.
What are you wearing?
Whatever is easiest for you. And once you do, you can share that URL with us right here in the chat room, where we'll take a look at it and probably talk about it.
We'll talk about you. That's what we do.
Yeah.
At least you're here.
Yeah. We won't.
We won't talk about you behind your back, unless of course you leave the chat room after you post a picture. Then
that's different.
Then it's your own fault.
Now, if you are listening to the archive show, don't worry about it. You can always join us at dailybooth.com/Damond Nollan. And then the guys, they're there as well. You can find them in my friends list. And let me know you're a listener, and we'll follow you back.
Yep.
All right. So let's see what you guys are doing right now. I'll pull up my my camera here. I know Mike just took a picture. And we'll see what you guys are into. Once I log in, that would probably help, right?
Right.
So Mike Render takes a picture and says, "It's us, the story of us."
Indeed it is.
That's a good picture of you, and it's a good side picture of me. And I just noticed that Derek and I are both wearing blue dress shirts today.
Yes.
We're like twinsies. As my mom would say, twinsies.
Yes.
I know that sounds wrong, right? We're twinsies. Tim Arthur throws up 2 for Tuesday. Dude, I love the new light on the office. I see you just kind of turn sideways. I get to see your face and everything, man. What's up?
Nice.
He's throwing up the happy deuces.
Well, that would
The teuces.
with the light.
The blending of the word, the teuces.
Yeah. Very nice.
And I just want to give a shout out to Bob H, who took a picture yesterday. But I wanted to say, what's up, man? I like your picture. Good stuff. Thank you. Anyway, don't forget, you can always take the picture. Don't be afraid. You can always take a picture and share it with us. We like to see what you guys are doing and wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Just as long as it's good for my eyes. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about I know we were talking about cameras just a moment ago. I want to talk a little bit more about a camera or a camera company. We're going to talk about Kodak.
Well, that's a former camera company,
Yes.
as memory served, being that they went bankrupt, and
Yes.
the Kodak Theater that they owned for the Oscars was labeled as such for the last time at the last Oscars. I think somebody else is going to buy the well, perhaps you have a news story that
I don't, not as it pertains to the theater at all. What I was going to talk about is there is a lawsuit that Apple has against the company, and Kodak is trying to basically fight this. So I got some details. This comes from Engadget, and it says that Kodak is fighting Apple's latest round of patent litigation. This was a suit that would force Kodak to pause plans to sell up to $2.6 billion in digital imaging patents as a condition of its bankruptcy loan. In documents filed late last week, Kodak argued the dispute should be heard by the same bankruptcy court that's already covering or overseeing its insolvency proceedings. Kodak's bankruptcy filing back in January caused all pending litigation, that includes from Apple and RIM and among other companies, to become to a screeching halt. But Apple is nonetheless forcing or pushing for a reboot, arguing that its number or owner of a number of valuable patents, including one that could be lost if that planned $2 billion sale goes through. So we're seeing Apple trying to say, wait a minute, no, not going to happen. And Kodak says, wait a second, no, that's not going to happen either. Well, they need to sell this so they can get some money. They got to move on. So the question is, who is going to win? Should Kodak win to get the option to sell its patents, or should Apple win? And I don't know which side is which, or who should win,
this whole saga, this whole game of intellectual property and patent rights is, I just never thought it would be so pervasive, so prominent, so important. I mean, businesses are literally living and dying on
these patents.
On these patents. Who owns them? And now that companies going out of business, they're hovering over them like hawks and to pick the patent bones off of them. It's just fascinating to watch.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Do you have a position at all on where this should go? I mean, I can understand Kodak's position to say, look, we got to sell it, we got to make our money back, we got to protect ourselves, and according to the court, all of these different things should be put to a halt. But at the same time, you got Apple saying, wait a second, that's going to cause us a problem as well.
I don't think that Apple's problem should come into play for any legitimate legal proceedings that another company goes through. I think for sure other companies will learn the lesson and quietly or quickly sell off these patents before going into bankruptcy in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you the next big player that goes belly up they'll deal them off. They'll deal them off before they go.
Right. Yeah, these kind of things are always tough, but it's interesting to watch though. One of the things I like to kind of keep my eye on is kind of what these businesses are doing and how they're working. I mean, who knows? One day we'll be in that situation where you'll have some patents, and it's just interesting to kind of see how the game is played, out there in this world. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so here's some other news. Lulsec. You guys may know them as those hackers who have been kind of breaking into people's accounts and whatnot.
Were they a precursor, or are they unrelated to Anonymous?
I think they're related somehow. I mean, and that's one of the things I'm learning in this story here from Mashable. They have, I think, similar members are kind of both groups. But Lulsec was recently arrested, or top members of the Lulsec group have been arrested thanks to one of its own members who kind of gave up some information on its users. Yeah.
Get stitches.
Yeah.
Are you sure that that he was intentionally snitching, or
he did it on purpose?
Oh, this wasn't just some like youthful braggadocio that gave the law enforcement officer some hints about their. Nope.
It looks like he is on their team. According to this, the FBI has been, as of today, arrested 5 top Lulsec members based on the reports from one of its own group members. The police in the U.S., Great Britain, and Ireland took the men alleged to be top members of Lulsec into custody this very morning. Mon Seeger has been secretly arrested and turned into a, this is air quotes, cooperating witness by the FBI, according to a Fox News report.
Wow.
This is very devastating. According to the FBI, this is devastating to the organization. We're chopping off the head of Lulsec. 4 of the 5 men arrested were charged as members of a conspiracy in a New York federal court. Anonymous took credit for taking approximately 5 million private emails from Stratfor and handing them to WikiLeaks, which is publishing them piecemeal. The Lulsec group is considered to be indirectly connected with Anonymous, another international group of hackers and hacktivists.
I see. That's very, very, that's very intriguing.
Yeah. I'm really wondering, though, like, I understand why they're doing this, and I think this is probably big news, but you got to think that this is kind of like that dragon where it gets his head cut off and then 2 more come.
The Hydra.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I kind of see it like that.
Yeah, you chop off one head and 2 more come up in its place. Yeah,
that's kind of what I feel like. It's not like, you might cut one person's head off, but they're just like, dude, I was just waiting in line. I'm the next in charge. Or they have different cells all over the place where you might get the one in Ireland, but we have one in here in America.
It's you just never know. It has everything to do with the skill set of the members and the organization itself. What kind of organization is it? Does it have these concrete ideas of rank and function and seniority and promotion, or
just a bunch of guys?
Just a bunch of guys doing what they do, and are they just doing it by the seat of their pants? It really just depends.
Right.
It could be that those guys that they got and call them top members, it could just be that they are the most skilled and active. They might not be the most skilled, or just the more active, or they might be just the most skilled. It's just hard to say.
Well, one of the things, if we look at sort of the history
all the makings of a good screenplay, though.
Well, I think so. I think once they get them and they kind of get this sort of conclusion, if you will, to the story, they could very well make a movie out of this.
Well, at this point, you could do this on Law and Order and make up your own conclusion.
Tis true. Tis true. This is not based on anyone in particular. But
I mean, they do it all the time. It's based ripped from the headlines. It doesn't say it's how accurate it is to what actually happened at the end of the on the other side of the headlines, you know.
But if you look at sort of the history of many hackers, as they put this information out there, here's how you can hack into said companies, or here's how you can hack. Period. Here are some of the tools that we use to get passwords or log into these secret services websites. I don't know. But in either case, this potentially is big news, and it could also be that the FBI is just saying, "Look, we got you, and you guys might want to back down now," or they could come back and say, "Okay, so you think you got us like last time? Oh, you think you got us, but we're never going to be deterred."
Anonymous seems to me very much like that kind of organization. Those guys see themselves as avengers for good. I mean, those guys really see themselves as doing the good work. LawSec, it's hard to say.
Right.
Hard to say.
So, wanted to drop that on you. After we're going to move on to BlogRoll, but after that, we're going to talk about something that PayPal is doing. They're rolling out a new app that will allow you guys to buy in new places. Should be very interesting. So let's take a look at BlogRoll and see what you guys are talking about. With the posters,
y'all got posters, and we rolling with them.
All right, BlogRoll is when we take a look at what you guys are writing, what you're putting out there into the blogosphere. Today we have quite a few stories that we're going to talk about.
Posters, not like the super sugar crisp posters, but the other kind of posters.
It's the other kind of posters. All right, we're going to talk first about...
You know that was funny, Mike.
First one comes from Basic Blog Tips, written by Kareem Tomlinson. It's called 5 Simple Ways to Keep in Touch with Your Blog Readers. And this one, again, is coming from Miss Eileen Smith's blog, basicblogtips.com. That's basicblogtips.com. 5 simple ways to keep in touch with your blog readers. Now, let me give you one of those. Clearly, is to publish blog posts regularly.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that being one.
I could stand to heed that advice.
Yeah, I could see that. Now, I know that there are some who believe that you should just write them as it comes to you. Some people would believe...
I don't believe that's the most effective way of doing it, even though that's the way I do it.
How I feel like writing a blog today. Me, though, I'm more of I schedule my blogs. That's pretty much what I do.
Well, you schedule everything. I mean, that's just you. You're a very time-boxed, focused, organized kind of guy.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't feel like it, though. There are times when I get to that time of the day and I'm like, oh, I so don't feel like.
See, that's the kind of guy I am. When I feel like that, I don't.
Gosh. But, the biggest thing is if you just start one, if you just start doing it, even if you don't feel like it. And I say this to myself because it's a daily fight for me, where you have to like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this thing right now. And I so don't want to be doing this, but I'm going to. So I'm going to start it. And what I find myself doing is I tend to, like, once I get into it, I'm like, oh, okay, then there's this, and I can write about this, and then I can write about that.
See, that is your uncanny and very admirable ability to just power through the apathy.
Well, I appreciate that. And if I can just do that,
it's self-evident.
If I can work out at night, that's the one I need to focus on now. Gosh, I so don't want to go outside and run. Who wants to do that? I don't. And then, so I got to force myself. So there are definitely some things that are easier than others. But anyway, definitely publish blog posts regularly. There are 4 other ones I want you guys to go check out. I'm going to share this URL with you so those of you in the chat room can go over there and take a read for yourself. And also for those of you who are online or listening, you can go to basicblogtips.com to get more information on that. It's probably going to be on the first page anyway. So that one is out there. Let's see if there's anything else that I can share with you that's kind of cool. Reply. Yeah, well, that's a good one. Yeah, reply. I'll give you one more. So one way to keep in touch with your blog readers, and this is probably a simple one, reply to their comments. Yeah. That's clearly
sure.
This is under the assumption that people actually comment on your blog.
Well, basic blog tips is got a couple of post assistants about how to get more comment love.
Right.
So
little comment love, definitely, which is not to be confused with the other comment love.
Well, yes,
the LUV. Definitely. So anyway, definitely go check that one out. It's another story, one that I wrote this weekend. It's called "If You Want More, Fill in the Blank, Then Do More." That's the name of the title. You can go to DamondNollan.com. Again, that's DamondNollan.com to get this story, but I'll share this one within the chat room with you. This one here is actually, I was inspired by a number of different things that happened over the past week or so. The first one, there was a speaker at church this weekend who was talking about giving, which is to say, if you give, it will be given back to you, which is one of the things that one of the speakers was talking about. But also, Miss Eileen has talked to a great extent on a number of different places, not just on her blog, but a number of different places about being engaging, interacting with people. Clearly, she's here every single day on our show, and yet somehow she's
her presence in and of itself is an altruistic. It is giving.
It is because she's here and she's engaging, right?
Yep.
But she's not only here, but she's also in like 20,000 other places.
She is ubiquitous. Yes, indeed.
Right, and she does that for a lot of people. And she's always like, she'll read a blog and she'll comment.
I think that's why NASA gave up their race to get to Mars. Ms. Eileen, she's already there. You see what I did there?
She's already there. But in any case, I kind of talked about her and what she has inspired me to do. She has always been a giver, always one to comment and to share. She's good for retweeting, and she's engaging. She's out there on these different communities, talking to people, and whether it's on Facebook, Twitter, whether it's on Google Plus, whether it's on these Blog Engage, or it's on Just Retweet or whatever. It's like she's always there. YouTube, she's there. So, but it's not always about her, and that's the part it's important. It's not always about her. It's about what she gives to other people. She's sharing and she's commenting, and because of that, and this came from her own words, because of that, she has gotten a lot of love in return. If you look at some of her blog posts, she gets tons and tons and tons of comments. She has a lot of people who are engaging, who are sharing her content. Right. And then not to mention, she's also here and she has a number of guest posters or guest bloggers who are jumping on her page. So, and she says from the chat room, she says, "I'm working on a report, eating lunch, tweeting, Facebooking, and breathing all at the same time. I don't know how you do it." Tim says, "Not human."
Not human.
That's how that happens.
She is not of this earth.
Absolutely. So that's what that story is about. I think I shared the URL. Definitely go and check that out. And and I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Have you had a similar experience with giving? And one of the things I challenge you with at the end of that post is this: go out there and try giving for an entire week. All right. As a matter of fact, and one of the things I write at the end is, if you want more comments, comment. This really came from Miss Eileen's interview that she had. You can listen to that one as well. But if you want more comments on your blog, then comment on other people's blog. If you want more love from your listeners on your show, well, then listen to what they're doing. Be engaged and being interested in what they're doing. It all comes together. So anyway, definitely go and take a look at that. I have another story here. This one comes from Tim Arthur on his blog. It's called Dream Bigger. From his website, it's timponders.com, timponders.com. You can go over there right now and get this. Is a Dream Bigger. And it looks like this one here is kind of talking about things that he wants to do for this year. And I'll give you a couple of those. One of those, he set some major goals for himself. There are 5 major goals, which you can see in 2012. One of those is to participate in the organization of a major local event. That will be one of those things. I'll give you one more. He says to engage and collaborate with leaders in the podcasting and new media space, which he already kind of is doing anyway. He's very much, kind kind of in this space. And he talks about a book that I think that you guys will enjoy. So go over here and take a look at his goals. And this could potentially serve to be an inspiration for maybe something that you want to see yourself doing in the 2012 year. You never know. So let me share this with you right here. Go check it out. There you go. Also, we have one here, another one from Basic Blog Tips. This one is called "Don't Get Pinned for the Crime: Pinterest Images." And I'll share this URL with you. Now, we talk about Pinterest. Pinterest.
I'm new to Pinterest. Thank you, Mr. Arthur.
Let me share with you this. I don't have the link in front of me, but I saw this this article this weekend talking about Pinterest and how to sort of take advantage of this for your blog. And it's an interesting piece because what people are finding is you can use Pinterest to get more hits on your blog or a website that you're on. It doesn't have to be a blog. It can be a website. And one of the strategies of this is that you should have good pictures on your website. And then, I don't know and one thing I've noticed over the past, month or so is that I'm getting a lot of hits to my website because of the pictures that I have.
You get better pictures and you've noticed a spike in the traffic.
And it comes a lot from Bing or Google Images.
Sure.
So people are looking for, hey, let's say Cap Alpha Psi. They want a picture of a logo or whatever. Right. And I'm getting tons and tons and tons and tons of traffic just off of images. Oh, the biggest one I've had to date so far about images has been the Underworld movie. And I had a poster of the Underworld, which I grabbed from one of the websites. And because of that, I'm getting tons of traffic. And so one of the strategies that I heard this weekend was if you take good pictures on your website, you can actually link those and allow people to, you can pin it in Pinterest. Then people will repin it on their board, which will then allow you to get more hits, which I think is very interesting. Yeah. All right, Tim Arthur wants to jump back on. What's on, Tim? King Tim Bada Bill.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you got the delay.
Just wanted to.
He had it on mute.
You got me now?
Yeah, we see you.
Okay. I just wanted to give you a Pinterest tip for some bloggers as well. This is something that a lot of us have talked about in the past. About you brought up how Pinterest was kind of putting their own affiliate stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that story?
Yeah.
Well, it's important for bloggers that may have affiliate links. If they're pinning a particular image that's going to attract people to their blog or direct them to an affiliate link, what they can do is they can manually go back in and edit that link after they post it.
Mm-hmm.
Once Pinterest kind of replaces it. So just a quick tip, definitely after you have pinned something to Pinterest, go back and check the link. And if it has been changed, you can manually edit that.
That's definitely something a good tip to have. Now, let me ask you, Tim, are you using Pinterest regularly yet?
I'm on there. What I've tried to do is I'm trying to block out sections of time by taking the lead from one of my friends, Damond, Nollan, blocking out sections of time for specific functionality. And I am taking currently a small portion of my evenings and going through and curating some content on there. But I try to stay away from it during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's a lot of activity on there, and it's not really a time-sensitive thing because people will always kind of come back and see what kind of pins you've put up there, the next time they return.
Right.
But I'm trying to engage it during a componentized space of time right now. But definitely, it's a great service, and we've talked about it kind of ad nauseum in terms of on the Tech Monk show a little bit about the being overwhelmingly female, but then starting to shift, and kind of like Eileen had mentioned, it's like scrapbooking. And what's great is that if you have a great image, like the blog post that you're featuring that was on her blog, if you have a great image, it's going to attract somebody's attention, and it's going to get people to devote traffic towards your property. So it's a great service.
Absolutely.
I'm just hoping that they can weather all the controversy that they're facing in terms of intellectual property and image copywriting and whatnot. They'll get there.
Absolutely. And something that Alan just said in the chat room, he said that Pinterest is one of his highest referred sites. Mm-hmm. I really haven't. I don't know. I gotta go back and look at my analytics. I don't think I have that many up there, and maybe because I don't pin enough of my own pictures. But I did find that Gary Vaynerchuk, I've actually been following a lot of his videos and as I guess he's posting or pinning on Pinterest, and he does a couple of those a day, and I'm like, oh, these are kind of interesting. So look, this right here is kind of where it's at. So maybe some of us need to go out and take a more serious look at that. But I do want to add one other thing with you, Tim, and you brought up an interesting point. I've gotten to the point where I have organized my day, and I think you just mentioned this a second ago about blocking your day off, and I've gotten to the point now where I'm actually going to have to do a sub plan, because right now I have a plan. Eileen says, I can't take all that cursing from Gary V. No, I definitely get you, because he did curse a lot in this one video I was watching. I was like, dude, seriously? I didn't realize he cursed that much. But it was still a good talk. One of the talks that I saw him in, he was just like, dude, just go get it. But one of the things I found myself doing, and this is kind of in line with what Tim just said, is I'm having to basically cut down my work. So here's an example. I have let's say an hour and a half of work time scheduled for every day, and work means anything that needs my time. Like I have to do something like build a report or something. Then I'll put that into my work schedule. But here's the thing that I'm having an issue with right now. My issue is that I might have let's say building a website should be a work thing, but I should do that every single day. So what you do is you limit let's say 30 minutes of your day always for web-related work. Then you limit another 30 minutes for work that is related to, I don't know, let's say Boy Scouts, because that happens to be one of the things I have to work on. And next to every single day, and the third one might be something else. So every single day, I'm always going to touch those 3 areas of work, which it's something that I haven't done. I've kind of just left it open to say, well, whatever needs to be done, I'll do during those scheduled times. Anyway, I won't go too deep into that right now, but that just got me thinking about how I schedule. And Miss Eileen says, I'm no way an angel, but if I find it very offensive, and there are way too many people to listen to besides him. Plus, he's a wino. That was a joke. Very good. Okay, let me finish off. There's a couple other ones here. So I also wrote one called "How Much Do You Want?" and this is a blog that I wrote this weekend. It's from Jimmy Evans talking about giving, and it's a pretty good message. Wanted to share that with you as well. So that should conclude all of our blog rolls for today. Let me jump into our last story of the day. And this one here is called PayPal Debuts in Bars Using Something Called Tabbed Out.
What?
Yes, it's a new app, I guess, if you will. This story comes from GigaOM. And it says that PayPal, the online payment giant, has been working its way through physical stores. And now it has a payment option in more than 2,000 Home Depot locations. I wasn't aware of that. But it also, not only is it doing so in the Home Depots, but it's also now in bars and restaurants with a new partnership they have called It's Tabbed Out, an Austin, Texas startup that lets people pay their tabs using an app. And so the way it works is that you'll be able to add PayPal as an option, a payment option on the tabbed out, and you can obviously use your credit card or a debit card or whatever you want. And then what happens is when you can create a tab using your credit card or debit card, right? So let's say you go into a bar and you say, hey, look, I want to create a tab. You drop your credit card or debit card, and typically what you do, you'll leave that with the cashier. But what you can do is you can.
Well, if you don't, you're prone to be in some trouble.
Well, yeah, there's that big bouncer at the door who will make sure that you pay your bill. But users will be able to open a tab using your credit card or debit card saved on your tabbed out account, and then when you enter a business. But when it comes time to settle your bill, after you've had a few drinks or food or whatever, you can then enter in your email address and a password to pay using PayPal. Now, tab out users can then just walk out of the store without having to see or mess with the waiter or waitress, whatever it is. Now, this app right now is not available across in all places yet, but it does work in 70% of the establishments in the U.S., but there are only 400 current locations that's using this in the country.
So how do you get both of those numbers? 70% of the establishment, 400 locations?
I guess it works. The function will work in over 70% of the establishments, but it only is available right now in 400.
Okay.
So whenever they roll, now I know they're doing this thing in South by Southwest this weekend. So you'll see a lot of this come out of there, and there's obviously a lot of events that are happening right now. So we'll see more of this as the week goes on. But I love the idea of this, that I can simply go into a restaurant and pay my bill, and then be out, and not have to wait for somebody to come back and see me.
I like that idea.
Now, of course, I don't know how you can enforce that, right?
Yeah, and the other problem is the idea of being able to check your bill and having too direct access to my money is also it's a consideration. I'm a little reticent, a little hesitant, but I think that, like we've had this discussion before, I think that could very well be just a generational thing.
Right.
I mean, what's to say that she's not going to charge me for 4 drinks and I only had 2?
Well, I'm wondering if they will show you, like, on the app. Will it say, hey, this is what you had on your drink. You ordered this, and some wings, and then show you what you have to purchase, and then say, okay, I'm cool with that.
Then approve the purchase just like you would a regular conventional brick and mortar credit card transaction.
Right.
That would make sense. That would alleviate some of those concerns. And yeah, sure.
Right.
Sure.
Well, I really like the Square. I mean, it's definitely something that I think is so convenient. The fact that I can see what I'm paying for, and then I can just sign my name across this app, and then it emails me or texts. Yeah, it'll text you the receipt.
It sends you a post-it in your
This is how much you pay.
SMS.
But I love that, though. I really do. I think it's a really neat feature to have, So I don't know, Mike. What do you think about that? Now Mike's used the Square. What do you think about this idea?
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean,
he might be using it now for all we know.
Well, it doesn't have a little scanner thing across the top.
Oh yeah, you can always enter your number in manually too. So yeah, I think it's a cool idea for the bar scene.
Again, I guess on the other side, if I was actually the bar owner, my question would be, how do I ensure that you didn't just walk out of my restaurant? Because this is, typically what happens is you got somebody who's watching, like that dude.
90 seconds.
Ooh, ouch, that's loud. But that dude over there didn't pay his bill. How can you enforce that? Like, no, I paid. Look, here's my receipt on my phone. I don't know. I'd like to see how that would work. So anyway, that noise means it's time for us to run. So let me play this.
One thing for sure about bar guys, if you make it easier to give him your money, he's going to be cool with that.
Sure. Pay me. Want my money. Anyway, let me say thank you to you guys for hanging out with us today. Let me say thank you to Alan Tran, DB Funky, Eileen Smith, Tim Arthur, LL, and also Demetrius Harvey, who's listening from the phones. Thank you guys for what you do. We really appreciate you. Don't forget, we are here every Monday through Friday right here on blogtalkradio.com/Damond Nollan. You can also get the higher quality, higher fidelity audio over on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Damond Nollan. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You can find us online. Don't forget to jump in our conversation we have on Facebook. Yep. And we'll see you on Wednesday. Until then, Mike Render.
Deuces.
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 Seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Yeah, I like to keep my eye on this.